There we go. I had myself muted. Sorry about that. Hello, I am Pixel Pia, and you are welcome to tonight's live stream. I haven't streamed for a couple of months and am a little ring rusty, so bear with me. I am starting a new series of live streams here. If you have been on my channel before, you know that I have started a series about using Midjourney on the web, their web application. But there are so many things to discuss when it comes to AI art. So my thought is to do this live stream and have one topic of each week where we talk about ethical, moral, and maybe some lawful questions around AI art. And tonight we are starting by talking about ethics, copyright, and things like that. And what I will do is I will try to present arguments both for and against the different points of view you can have. And then I will give you my conclusion. And hopefully, we can have a conversation in the chat about these questions. But it's a little bit boring to have a live stream where I just talk to you. So while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to create some art in Midjourney. And to do that, to challenge myself, I have created two lists in and I will share them with you here. The first list is 25 projects there where we could have some advantages by creating art in Midjourney or any other AI software. And the other list is 25 different art styles. So I'm going to ask Google for some help here. I'm going to ask Google to give me two numbers between 1 and 25. The first one is to choose a project, and the second one is to choose the art style. So, hey Google. Hey Google, give me two. Hey Google, give me two numbers between 1 and 20. No, it didn't want to do that. Let's try again. Hey Google, give me two numbers between 1 and 25. And for some reason, I couldn't hear the answer, so let's try again. Hey Google, give me two numbers between 1 and 25.
17.
And another one. And a second number between 1 and 25.
8.
Okay, so 17 and 8 is tonight's. Ooh. Number 17, an app icon or UI design. Design icons or other visual elements for apps or websites. Okay, maybe we're trying to do a website design and pixel art. This will be very interesting. An icon or a layout for a web design. Maybe we should do a icon for my website where I can use as my little, what is it called now? I'm losing words here. That I can use as favicon. Let's try to do that. So, as you can see, this is my explore page on here, but I am going to go to here and a favicon. No, we're going to start by changing our settings. We want it to be square, standard 6.1, and we are going to have a variety around 30. 28 is okay. And maybe we should try and do 3x4. 3x4 can work for a layout for a website. So we want to create a grid of a website layout containing an area for the header and 2 columns. The style should be pixel art. So there we have the very basics. While I am working here, I am gonna start to talk about today's topic, or originality. And the main question is, can AI generated images be considered original works eligible for copyright protection? And if so, who owns the copyright? The AI developer, the user of the tool, or nobody at all? I am trying to stay away from the legal aspect in this discussion, since most countries haven't really formulated their legal aspect of these questions. We have some legal aspects set in US, some legal cases, but it's far from decided what's gonna be. So I am gonna stay away from those aspects. And instead, we are going to focus on the more ethical and moral aspects of AI art. And let's start with originality and look at some arguments for AI art to be considered as original works, because this is the ground for whether it could be copyright protected or not. So we start with the creative input from users. Even though an AI generates the image. The user, in this case, me, I'm going to change this prompt totally because this didn't work. Even though the user has directed the AI to what it wants to create. And here we come into a gray zone depending on how much instruction, how much directions the user give the AI. So, but if we end up at the point of view that it is created by the user gives the information and therefore influencing the outcome, creating the outcome, it should be possible to copyright protect it. But then we have the question of transformation of data. AI models transform enormous amounts of data into something new. Is this originality to take input from other creations and create something new? Can that be seen as originality and creativity? And in such case, the right to a copyright, for example, should be the AI itself, the creator of the AI, because it's the tool makes the creation. And then we have a third case where we look at this as a collaboration. The user collaborates with the AI. And you see AI is as a tool. Could compare it to using Photoshop or a camera, maybe. So in all these cases, we could say that AI art is original work. But let's take a look at some points that goes the other way. It's not original. For example, traditional copyright law is based on human creativity. And since AI don't have that human consciousness and intent, at least not for now, you could argue that the works lacks the human element required for being protected by copyright. Then we have the predictive nature of AI. The AI models generate images based on pattern in existing data, which can raise concern about originality of those outputs. They are derivative of the data they've been trained on. And that leads us into question about who can be the copyright holder. In the first case, we look at the user, the creator, as claiming ownership. They guide the AI by crafting prompts and selecting the final output. if we look it from the AI developer's point of view, you can argue that the creator of the AI should have the rights to copyright since they created and trained the tool that generates the images. A third point of view could be that this should be in the public domain. In some legal systems, AI generated works might be considered public domain because no human can claim authorship. And if we don't give it the authorship to the AI creator, it should be in the public domain. One other question is, do we look at the AI as a tool or as an author? If we look at AI just as a tool, there is no doubt that the user should retain the rights, just as when I use Photoshop or I use another creative software. Nobody would say that if I create an image in Photoshop and I do it from scratch, that the copyright should go to Adobe. We are all agreeing that if I use a product like that, I am the owner and I have the copyright rights to that tool, to that image. But if we instead look at AI as an author, as the creator of the images, it gets a little bit more complicated to decide who should be the owner of the final creation. Another aspect in this is what data sources we use. Many AI tools like Midjourney and other generative art projects are trained on publicly available art and images. And if the AI generated image are copyrightable, it could raise issues about whether the AI generated content is free from infringement. If I take one of my images here I have created today and use this as a as an image reference that I want the same image, but in the style of Monet. Can I claim that this is my creation? Or is this something inspired by Monet and therefore not my creation? These are questions that are not easy. I actually like what we came up with here. I don't know which one I liked the most. If I were to use this as an icon for a website, I think this would be Let's remix this and see if we can find another inspiration of style here. Let's add this style. Colorful is all I adding here. And let's see. And as you can see, the more I add, the more I changes, the further it goes away from the original creation here. Here we have the original one we did. And now we are on images like this. This I actually like. I don't know which one I like the most. Maybe this one. And let's do some variations of this and see what we end up with. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh boy. I can see that as, let's say that I build a website that has to do with style. Let's go to editor and say that I want this to be like a header instead of my image. Let's see what we get when we change the format of this image. And remember, we're discussing, am I the creator or who is the creator of this? Let's look at them. I think I would change this part. Let's change this half and keep the colorful and just see colorful and text. Let's just write colorful tech and see what that will give us. And now I am coming really far from where we started. So the question, colorful tech, no, not really tech, but we're getting there. Let's try it again and do that part. I want to computer parts is what I want. And let's see what we get. So as you can see, it doesn't want to make computer parts. Edit this part and let's nope. Now this was not a very good idea of me to try and have a discussion at the same time as I'm creating. I actually like this image. So let's say that this is my final product. I have pixelated. It can work for a website, like a icon maybe. Let's change the layout we want it to be. Wider. Oops. That was not what I wanted to do. I want it to be okay. Let's see here what we can get. But the most important question here is this art created by me? And if it is, do I have the rights to this art? Wow, now we're really getting far from where we started. Let's see. That I like. This, let's see. In this corner, I want a laptop on a desk in 135 millimeter film. It doesn't want to create that. Why not? In the lower right corner as a add a laptop in the lower right corner. Let's see if that works better. I really want to get some tech in there. It didn't work at all. Let's see what happens if we take all of this away. Extend the female face. Okay, here we go. That I really like with the black and white there. That kept the pattern. This one or maybe this one I would like. Let's see some variations of this. But now I think we are really onto something that nope. I want to use that image. Not this one. Which one was it I wanted to use? This one. I want to use that image and I want it to be darker. Oh, are we back to that's why. Oh, now we are totally different. No, I think I'm going to stick with this. If I'm going to build a website and use something for the layout, I would definitely use this. I think this is a very interesting image for a blog post, for example, or a blog overlay. And let's use this as image and style. And we are going to say create as a blog website header. Now we did in 4x3. Here we have some variations. Oh, here we got really into it with the I don't know. I think maybe the first one could be I just want to change the scale here to be 2x1 and even make it maybe like that. Come on. Let's see. So now the question is, here we have the final blog post header, blog website header. And let's look at it. Is this an image created by me? And if so, can I claim copyright for this? Is this an image created by the software, the AI program, in this case Midjourney? And can the creators of Midjourney claim copyright for this? or should be able to claim it? Or is this something that should end up in the public domain and can't be copyright protected at all? What do we think is the moral rights to and ethical rights to this image? And if we scroll back here and look at the different image we have created, is any of these, I'm just scrolling through here now, is any of these something that we should have the right to? And let me see here, these were the first images we started with. Our very first prompt gave us these four, and from them I picked out this one to continue working with. And here we added some Monet style, and we changed the format. We added a little bit more pixelation, and we went into the editor and added this part. Here we went back to the original. They are not too bad either, these images, if we wanted to make a blog post. And these are the darker images. Well, let me go back to right now. I have problems with my screen on my laptop, so I have to use this other one. I don't know if this is something of interest to discuss. I realize that it's hard for me to just create and have a serious discussion. So maybe next week, what I'm going to do on my live streams is I'm just going to sit and create and talk about what I'm doing in Midjourney. If you have any questions or ideas to what I should create, I'm looking forward to hear that in the comments or in the comments of my post on the community page. But for now, this wasn't a very elaborative live stream. I thought I was prepared, but it's hard when you haven't live streamed in a couple of months. So that's where we will end today's stream. Do you think that AI art should be possible to copyright protect? And if so, who should be the copyright holder? The user, the AI creator, or nobody? Leave your comments down below. Bye.